Go to the NIT, Carolina. Go to the NIT.
They ain't gonna take that. They ain't gonna take that. Let me
They
tell you
won't. They
something.
won't.
Can I just go on this? Let me just go. Let me just go. Triple crown, motherfucker. Fuck them heels. Let's go Duke. Let's go Duke.
Wow.
Lane violation. How
On a lane violation.
beautiful was that?
That's so Duke UNC. That's so Duke UNC to have a 20-point lead at the half and then win the game on a lane violation.
And I tell you, let me tell you, the Duke played like garbage after about 15 minutes in that. They started running the clock, trying to run it out. Evans did not show up. Isaiah's got to play better than that. Foster has got to finish at the rim a little bit better. I thought he did everything else well. But Malawach was inconsistent, but he's got to be more dominant. And he's got to use his size. He's got to use both his hands. He's got to get the rebounds. He's got to hold on to the ball better. But still, man, still, triple fucking crown.
That was so Jekyll and Hyde, man. Like that was the thing about it. That was very Jekyll and Hyde, that first half versus the second half. I didn't like how we closed the game, but we did win the game. We finished it off. We fought on defense. I mean, you knew Carolina was going to come back. You knew that they were going to make a push. It was a matter of, is Duke at the 8-minute or 10-minute mark going to create some resistance against that push that you knew was coming from Carolina? And it just never happened, unfortunately. But we had a big enough lead. That's the thing. We had a big enough lead to maintain what we needed to maintain. And like clearly 21 points was enough. You know what I mean? Like 21 at the half was like just enough.
The problem, the problem. So when Coop goes out, when Cooper's not playing, somebody will step up, and it's usually Proctor. Proctor or Knipple will lock in.
He had a rough game tonight.
Yeah, none of those guys. I think Proctor, I know he had double digits, but it was a quiet game for him. It was a quiet whatever points. But Knipple really seemed off, and nobody stepped up and said, I'm going to take this game over. I thought James would have been the guy to do that. But we just kept trying to lob it into the big guys, and no one on the perimeter was trying to take over, which was odd. Normally, this team starts slow. It takes them about 5 to 7 minutes to figure out each game what's going to happen. But what was surprising to me was the way this collectively that the Blue Devils quit after, I think it was after Malawach hit that 3. That's when they just stopped.
Yeah, they it was almost like we're taking it for granted. You know what I mean? Like that's what it felt like anyway. It felt like a team that knew they had the lead, expended a lot of, and they really did expend a lot of energy in that first half. So it was almost like, okay, we can rest on this possession. But it just kept piling up. And some of the things caught us, like the rebounding caught up to us a little bit there in that second half. The inability for anyone to attack the basket regularly caught up to us. Because that's Coop's thing. That like the one thing I was always kind of worried about with Coop being out was his ability to attack the basket. And that's something that we were clearly missing, was the ability to hit those tough twos without throwing it to the post. And we didn't throw it to the post in that second half the way I thought we could have.
Some of that too, I thought, was more trying to get a layup instead of getting a jump stop.
Yeah, for sure.
Get them up in the air, go into their body, draw the foul, and go to the line. There were times where Caleb should have done that. I thought that towards the end, Knipple definitely should have done that. And Proctor's got to hit that free throw on that 1-on-1. He has absolutely got to hit that front end. If he misses the second, that's fine, but you've got to hit the front end, because that's basically missing 2 now in the books. So that was the part that kind of surprised me. I would have thought at some point James would have done something. I will say I didn't think Shire got the best. He just couldn't seem to get the lineups right in my mind all night. And I don't know, Gillis wasn't really doing a whole lot as far as offense. So I don't know if he just didn't feel like things were working. I thought we would have got a chance to see a little bit of Harris at some point, like we did. I think it was against Wake when Coop was out for a little bit, or maybe it was Florida State. I can't remember, but Harris came in and played some. I thought maybe we would have gotten a chance to see him.
Yeah.
A I will say, other than though Foster struggling to finish the basket, I thought he had a good game. He played good defense.
Mm-hmm. He did.
Passed the ball around really well, and he got some key rebounds. So if he can play defense, he had a couple of steals or deflections. If he can play defense like that, like if I'm Shire, if I'm Carrawell, I pull him aside and say, don't worry about scoring. You just bring that defensive energy and pass the ball. If he can do that, then this team's going to go to the level. But I'd like to see Evans hit another three here at some point.
Yeah, I mean, it's with him. It's if he sees the first one drop, he's good the rest of the game. He really didn't see anything drop today, and that's kind of the story of his game. But he did play defense. He had some great defensive possessions, especially in the first half. The second, no, I don't know that anyone. I don't know that you could say anyone had a good game in the second half of this game, and I think that's kind of the story of it, and I think that's why it ended up being so close. And honestly, like having Coop, having Malik, I don't know how much of a difference that would have made. Other than Coop would have been able to get to the basket, maybe Malik would have been able to, assist on some drives and some attacks. But the way they were attacking, this just reminded me of that first game when we had the big lead and then lost it, to the tune of a 17-point game. That was 35, and then we lost it down to 17. Almost the same identical amount of points at this point. We had a 21-point lead and we gave up 18 points in the second half. So it's identical to that first game. So, that was just an issue, and it happened again. But again, we were able to build a big enough lead, and it made it work. But the things that we did well in the first half were just so promising to me that I think moving forward, not having to play Carolina again, playing other teams where the scout will be different and we'll be locked in for the entirety of the game, I think that'll make a difference.
I'm surprised. I pulled up the box score. I'm really surprised that Duke had 5 guys in double figures and only won by 3. You almost never see that. That's surprising. Right? And I mean, Malawach had 13 and 9. Proctor had 11, but only 1 assist. And again, it was a quiet 11. Mm-hmm. Same thing with James. James had 12 points, but it was a quiet 12. Yeah. I mean, that was surprising to me. But Gillis only had 1 point. I mean, if he was in for 15 minutes, he's got to get you 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And I know that's a lot to ask in that short of playing time, but he's got to hit his shots, and he didn't have it offensively. So I don't know about tomorrow.
And he hasn't so far this tournament, right? Like this whole tournament so far, he hasn't really offensively. He hasn't given us much.
He's a streaky player. I like the guy. I mean, I'm not being critical of the guy. I'm not saying. I mean, I like Gillis. I like his energy. He comes in, he does what he does. I think he's a really good player. He leaves it all out there, but he's streaky. He's hot and then he's cold.
For sure. We got Jack in the house.
What's good? Sorry, I'm not at my house right now. Sorry, I'm having some internet connectivity issues. I'm on my iPad here, so
that's all right.
Holy shit, man!
Unnecessarily not necessarily difficult, but we got out of it. That's the biggest thing.
Jalen Withers is my GOAT.
Dude, I feel so bad for that kid. At the same time, I'm like, thank you.
Why?
That was crazy.
He made the decision to go to Carolina in the portal, man. Thank you, Ben.
He had choices. Don't feel bad for him.
That's true. And then Allen Lubin, thank you for missing the first free throw. That was a big deal.
Van Allen Lubin, yes. Oh, all legends.
Don't lie. That was a cheap foul
That
call.
was a terrible call. That was not a bad call. Just to be clear, that was not
a
foul.
cheap foul call. And for Duke to get all the calls, let's be real. I mean, what, double bonus for how long in the game? I mean, let's be.
It was 11-5 before the late game fouling.
Yeah, that was garbage.
It's a joke.
Eddie, that was a bad call, right?
I mean, I just feel like sometimes in basketball, because the crowd's on top of you and the momentum swinging that the refs get called in the game, it's something that very rarely happens like a football, but because of the way basketball is set up, I feel like it was a few of those calls, and then Con didn't get the same call, and I just think human emotion becomes a part of it, and these people start rooting for the underdog, and we get what we get.
Man. What a game though, right? Like we got an incredible game out of it. Like that's another storied game in the rivalry, and we came out on top. So I'll take it. Honestly, I'll take it. I'll take it to have that level of game, and I hate how it happened, but it happened. Can't change that, and we still won the game. I don't think it's an indictment on this team. I think it's more of just some immaturity, and I think we won the game and we can learn from it, so we'll get out of it with a lesson. But yeah,
well, I'm gonna ask you that. AC, do you think it was just human emotion? Because I mean, I think that a lot too. But they also had a double screen play they would run at the top that really opened up the middle of the court for them. Is that maybe
sure.
with Cooper flagged it, that's not a weakness? But what do you think
No,
about that?
I don't know that Coop being there would have changed anything. I think that was so the first game. Look, I know D took a lot of crap for it. I know I took a lot of crap for it. D mainly took a lot of crap for it. After that first game, when we were up 35 and they came back, and like D and I both were like, I don't like how that went. Like I don't like how that happened. We can do better. That so on and so forth. We weren't trying to nitpick a glorious game. We were just like, this is something that later on we can see biting us in the ass if we don't take care of that. And it kind of happened. They ran some of that same stuff that they ran in that first game, those double screens, the elevator screens, and then almost like the picket fence that you saw from Hoosiers. They were doing that, and it created some problems for our team. And I think defensively, that's one of the things that this team does have issues with is when you set double screens for a really good driver, this team has trouble kind of adjusting to that because of how we play passing lane defense. But not many teams can't exploit that. That's the thing about it. Most teams cannot exploit what we do defensively in that regard. So I mean, I want to see us clean that up a little bit, but I don't see it as like a foregoing problem, like going into the tournament, like this is going to kill us.
Well, the crazy thing, you could almost see it a couple of times where Common was lifting up too high, and you could see the drive coming.
Sure.
So, do you think, like you said, that's that how we play the passing lanes? Was that maybe
it is?
Maybe
but we
Malo
played
doing
that
the scouting report?
We played that screen better in the first half than we did in the second half. Honestly, we did. I don't know if it's tired legs. I don't know if it was just a little bit of tightening up. The young guys kind of tightened up. I mean, we played a lot of freshmen in that second half in a game that was really high profile, and UNC was making that comeback. So that was kind of a veterans second half.
But
so
Malik would have challenged a lot of those lanes.
He would have changed some things.
Yeah, and I think Shire made a decision not to put Gillis at the 5, much if at all. I don't remember him really being there. He went with the
He wasn't at all.
I think that was part of going. Eddie, to your point about the way the lanes were open, it just takes those big guys longer to close.
With the way RJ Davis shoots threes, I know it's hard to make this decision. Dude, I feel like you can bury UNC with a zone. And we've played zone. We played zone against Clemson. We played against Wake. You can, and we played against NC State, unfortunately, having to play it against them. You can play zone against UNC and make it be effective, not the whole game, but for stretches. And we talked about in the pregame, I thought zone in some of those situations, switching to a zone could have been pretty effective. I don't know, just my opinion.
I agree with that, AC.
Some of those picket fence plays like we'd been running on those little side screens to get Evans open. We didn't see a lot of that for him. And I don't know if they've just found a way to kind of cover him up with the size, but it was interesting to watch us struggle to find ways to get Evans his shot off that we'd been able to do in other games. So that's something that Shire and the staff are going to have to address, to find ways to get Evans a look and get him rolling. Because especially if we're without Coop for let's say the first weekend of the tournament, someone's going to have to fill that shooting and scoring gap, and you got to be looking at Evans for that.
But I'll tell you what was encouraging me, Bull City, was that the fact that at the end it wasn't Foster out there chasing Davis, it was actually Evans. And I mean, if he could be trusted at the end of the game to play defense, I mean, he definitely could be out there to make shots. I mean, I found that very interesting, and that John went with that decision, and it paid off. So
100%.
I mean, at the end of the day, we got the dub. And again, I think, like I said, I think the first half was more indicative of this team than the second half.
I agree with that. I think the second half was. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about that second half. I have a steak right here. It's been sitting here since about 10-minute mark of the second half. I'm going to enjoy it, and we're going to talk about how awesome.
Yeah, eat that thing, Jack. I got this bourbon sitting here that I'm holding on to.
The rebounding was.
I think we burned the second half of this game and burned the first half of the Georgia Tech game.
Yeah.
Just keep moving on. You know what I'm saying?
That's a part of one-day tournaments, man. Like, it's a part of one day. If you've never played in a one-day tournament, it's hard to put that many consecutive halves or quarters together, like, consistently. It's difficult. And when you have a really good team, it's easier because if I don't have it today, another dude has it. If that dude doesn't have it, somebody else has it. We can rely on our post. We can rely on our perimeter. We can rely on our defense, whatever. Like, depending on how your team is built, it makes it easier. And I think that's what happened today. I think the guys just kind of let their guard down after that first half a little bit. And they matched UNC shot for shot for that first couple of minutes of the second half. But then, like Ben said, after the 15-minute mark, that was kind of where it went, man. It just kind of went UNC's way.
And then when you get that momentum, man, it's just hard to change that momentum.
It is. You got to do
really so hard, dude.
Yeah, you got to do some important stuff to change momentum.
Hey.
And I think we had the chance to do it.
Brotherhood Chug.
Yes, sir. Get it, B Hodge. I don't know if the staff was afraid to do it. I don't know if you know what I mean. I don't know how it played out in the huddle, but there were just some things I think you could have done to stop that momentum or at least change that momentum, and we just didn't do it. Like the zone. We've gone to the zone in games this year. I don't think it would have been crazy to go to the zone against UNC. Last year, teams had really good success against UNC in the zone. And we just chose not to do it this game when we've already done it in games this year. I just thought that was interesting.
Go ahead. AC, do you think that this could have been like the Phil Jackson thing? This is the perfect moment to figure it out. I know we're not happy we won the game by so little, but we felt the game pressure in a one and done type of environment with the crowd going against us, with the refs. I mean, that's the same thing we're gonna feel against an 8 or 9 seed. Now we know we can't let our guard down. So I just wonder, maybe John was like, I'm gonna let him figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, that's very possible, bro. Honestly, that's very possible. Because I think you saw the way he was coaching a little bit. I think you're right.
But hey, don't y'all think that I'm not blaming on the refs, but don't y'all think the foul calling changed a little bit?
B Hodge, you can blame that partially on the refs. We were talking about how soft the calls were.
They tightened up in the second half. Like they were letting them play in the first half, and I'm like, this is awesome. And then in the second half, it was just like, every time North Carolina drove the ball, it was just like foul.
They tightened up on one side, but not the other.
But I also found it interesting that the announcer, Corey Azan, was like, they chose not to go back and watch that first goal tip. It was clearly not a goal tip.
Yeah.
We just left 2 points on the
board. That was an interesting decision, bro.
Yep. I think here's the thing. The second one was a goaltend, and they said it wasn't.
It was close. It was definitely close.
I think it was on the way down. That's just me, though.
That wasn't goaltending, Jack. Hey, I put it in slow motion, bro. That wasn't goaltending.
I'll trust your word, B Hodge. I did not put it in slow motion. I just sat on my couch incredibly stressed out.
Man, dude. Well, you know what? We got out of there.
All that matters.
They got to find more balance. I mean, tomorrow is going to be tough.
Yeah.
But you got to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you give that first 5-7 minutes, figure yourself out, but the rest of the game, you have got to play consistent. You just can't you just shut down for the last, 14, 15 minutes.
Right.
It seemed like that's what happened.
I hope this next game goes to 2 or 3 overtimes.
Louisville, I'm going to say Louisville. Louisville is going to present a different challenge for our guards. It's going to be Louisville, by the way. Put some money down if you want. I did.
Hey, I think though, if all right, just say all right, Duke went to halftime with a 21 point lead. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I think if it was a 5 or 6 point lead, we would have come out in the second half with a different mentality, though. Like
potentially. I think that's the thing with this team, right? Like, I think it's a young team. Number one, you do have some guys that are again learning the game, figuring the game out, all that stuff, blah 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 blah. But no, I'm with you, Bihaj. I think they would have been more competitive if the lead was shorter, but that's where they got to learn that. That was the gripe that I had when we were up 35 or 33 or whatever it was against UNC the first time, and then the game ended up being 17. That was the gripe that I had with it. And I think it's the exact same point differential. It was 18 points. They made up 18 points in that game. They made up 18 points in this game. Like, that's the issue I had with it. Like, and that's where you could see that being an issue. But the fact that we were able to get up 21, I think is more indicative of the fact that we gave up 18, if that makes sense.
Can we really quickly take a break from the pessimism to give flowers to the two bigs?
Yeah, for sure.
Kaman had 13. I love it, Derek. How you doing?
Duke Conscience, baby. Belt the ass. We need a broom up in this bitch, bro.
You can't spell Chapel Hill without 3 L's, you know?
3-game sweep, baby.
Fuck them.
The Triple Crown, man. It's the Triple Crown.
Fuck them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Triple Crown.
All right. Kaman had 13 and 9 with 2 blocks. Shot 6 for 8. Big Pat 12-3, 2 assists and a block. Should have had 2 blocks. 6 of 6 from the floor. They played well. I mean, I will say Pat got a little lost on defense at times, and that was pretty obvious when he was on the floor. But
he was more aggressive around the rim.
He was.
He got that ball one-handed when he was falling, and that's Malawach started struggling. He started off slow.
Yeah.
AC, you and I were texting about that.
We were.
And he heard that. He responded to it. He showed us something.
We sent the text to the bench. He saw him. He picked it up because you saw at the end of the first half, Kaman played much better. Honestly, like I've seen this with Kaman before. Like, if he's not involved offensively, sometimes he's not involved in the game. But when he sees his teammates doing things, a lot of times he'll mimic that shit. And I think that's what he saw. I think he saw Pat Ngangba out there playing his ass off, his best game of the year. And then I think Kaman responded to that, Derek.
I can't disagree with that.
Yeah, he balled out, man. It was rough to start the game, which I don't really know personally what the issue has kind of been when it comes to facing UNC, but he does seem to kind of start the game timid. But and obviously we can talk about that collapse because that was about to go down in Duke history as one of the biggest choke jobs.
It would have been.
But for now we can celebrate the fact that without Malik, without Coop, our bigs got off, man. Pause, but whatever.
Yeah, but Pablo's not here. You're safe.
I was at the SEC tournament, but I'll do this for him.
Yeah, man. But just shout out to the guys, man. They've talked about UNC not having size all year, and what do we do? Just go to our bigs, keep going. They had no answer. Shout out to the greatest Duke player of all time, Mr. Jalen Withers. Somebody tweeted that they got to put a statue of him outside of Cameron Indoor, and I couldn't agree more. I can't wait. I might just buy a jersey to support his NIL on his way out.
My goat.
Love it, but come. At the end of the day, I'll take that win against North Carolina. 3-0. No Coop, no Malik. Sometimes, like Pablo says, just gotta fucking win, man. I'll take it.
Jeff Manis, the step into the lane by Jalen Withers is not.
Hey guys,
not quite to the level of Chris Webber calling the timeout in the national championship game, but damn, that's close.
I feel bad. It's definitely close.
Isn't it though?
Okay.
Man, listen. I was good until you said Withers was the best Duke player of all time. That's so good, man.
That's what Derek says. That's what Derek does. He speaks nothing but the truth.
He does, man.
He tells
this is my first time live on this deal, man. I've listened to you guys for a while now. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it, and I'm an old time Duke guy. Guys, this Duke team's different, man.
Yeah,
they are different, and like even approaching this game tonight, I was so excited. Like,
yeah,
like without Coot, without Malik, we know all the difference. I was so excited to see them compete, and they did. And then what they did in the first half was, I mean, that's just it's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the second half was kind of crazy with the way it came back, but guys, what Shire has done with this team, it's unreal, and it's not normal. It's really not normal with what he's done. He has not missed on the freshman. Like, he did not miss on one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even Darren. Like, if you put Darren in that group, I feel like he still succeeds in some capacity.
Yeah.
And then what he did with the transfer portal. This team's fun, man.
It is.
This team's fun, and you're an old guy like me, and it's just really fun to watch, man. It's really fun to watch. It really is.
I'm glad you brought up. I'm glad you brought up being an old guy, because this is one of those things.
I'm holding that against UAC.
No, we're good, man.
As the resident Gen Z member of the podcast.
You whippersnappers, like, that's, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, man, because it's hard to recall a team that you just feel so comfortable watching. Yeah. That's the thing that, like, even I'm like, look, I know we won in 10, I know we won in 15. And then we've had some other good teams in between all that we really felt good about. But there's always like an air of like something is not right or whatever.
Yep.
But there's just a few teams that have been through like the history of Duke that every game they play, you almost just feel like, okay, like I'm good. Like we're gonna keep watching. And this is one of those teams, man. Like this team, 01, 99. I just haven't felt so comfortable watching a Duke game as I have with those squads. And this team is a part of those squads.
What team? Okay, what team would you take the best player off of, the best player, and still feel in a Duke, North Carolina game? Would you feel like you would still win the game?
Easy answer is Leitner.
Maybe
that's the easy answer.
Okay. We'll take Leitner and Grant Hill off that team. What would you do?
Here's the thing, right? You take Leitner and Grant Hill off those squads, and those teams are in trouble. Aren't the same, but you're also talking about two of the best players in the history of basketball at the collegiate level. So it's hard to say you get to delete those guys, because those guys were clearly a part of what the team did. It's the same thing with 01. You take Shane Battier and Jason Williams off the team, and
but they didn't have anybody on the 01 team. I mean, that was what, 6 guys?
6 guys.
I mean,
that team.
You lose one guy.
I'm very biased. I'm very biased to 01, but that team, what they did with Boozer going out, to me is the most impressive thing I've ever seen in college basketball. I've never seen anything more impressive in college basketball. Because they went through the tournament and won every game by double digits.
Yeah.
Even without Carlos Boozer for half the tournament. Like, that was that team, dude. Shane Battier and Jay Williams, like, my God, dude. It's I don't know how to explain it any other way. If you didn't live it, you don't understand it. It's just that was
you're
different.
right.
That was different.
Right.
Casey Sanders stepping up.
Casey Sanders.
Wow. Shout out to Sanders.
They always have a soft spot in my heart. Casey, I always love Casey Sanders for that. Always. So Jeff,
was that Reggie Love too when he was pushing those guys around? He came in.
Captain Reggie.
Reggie Love,
Yes,
Reggie
absolutely.
Dude put an NFL career on hold.
Yeah.
Win a championship with the basketball team.
And then he went with a body man for Obama.
Right-hand man, yeah.
That
man has had a hell of a life. I would love to sit down and chat with him.
Oh, for sure.
So we know all how. I mean, obviously, Coach K is the GOAT. I mean, I don't think there's any question about that. But where did Shire land in this thing, man? I'm gonna
let Derek answer that real quick. Go ahead, Derek.
I'm not gonna lie, my bad. Can you say that question one more time? Because I was trying to troll some UNC fans again.
Okay. And again, Good
My
for
bad.
you.
Yes, sir.
Good for you. No, listen, like I'm saying, like Coach K, obviously that's my guy. I grew up on him. He's the GOAT. There's no question in the story. But Shire, where is he landing in this thing, man?
You know,
I mean,
I don't know when we really get to start the conversation. I don't know if it's when Shire gets a chip, but
Yeah.
I mean, and he'll inevitably have a year where things don't look good. Probably
Right.
will have a year like the COVID
Are you
year.
talking about in Duke lore, or are you talking about in like the history of the NCAA?
well, hell. I mean, if we talking Duke, we talking lower of it. I mean, but no, I'm talking Duke right now. But let's,
I think in terms of Duke, and I'll let some of y'all answer this question too, because I want to get to it too. Like Vic Bubas was, God, like the Vic Bubas era was so incredible, and the coaches that came out of the Bubas era.
is second to K in Duke history, in my
Right
opinion.
now, he's second to K.
Yeah.
If John wins a title this year, I think he jumps Bubas.
He might just, yeah.
Because Bubas didn't win a title, and that's the nature of it. So I think he jumps Bubas if he wins a title. If he doesn't win a title this year, okay, then you at least put him in the conversation, and then they're neck and neck until he wins more games or wins more titles, whatever. But like John's history in this program is cemented if he wins a title this year, and I think it would be super appropriate to either retire his number if he wins a title this year as a coach, or at least put his name in the rafters somehow, some way, because he'd obviously be the first person in Duke history to win a title as a player and as a coach. And then for him to do it so quickly,
he's already one of a very small number of people to do that at Duke.
Yeah, and for him to do it so quickly after K, like nobody talks about Coach K anymore, unless they're trying to.
They don't.
You know what I mean? Like that's impressive. And Gene Bartow had the most impressive run after the guy. Like Bill Guthridge had a really good season after Dean Smith, and then that was it. Like he just couldn't handle it anymore. Gene Bartow
didn't he literally retire right after making the final?
He did, and he could have done some more, I think, but he was just old. Gene Bartow, after John Wooden, had a couple of really good seasons at UCLA, and then went to Alabama Birmingham and kind of brought that program out of the mud. But he had a good follow up to Wooden. But what John has done after K is just it's right up there with those two guys, and both of those guys, Guthridge and, well, at least Bartow's in the college in the Hall of Fame. I don't think Guthridge is.
No.
But I mean, what John has done post K has been exceptional, man.
So AC.
Go
ahead.
I just want to point out that K had Bill Foster players for a few years following Foster's departure.
He did.
John has 0 K players, and he's in year 3. K.
He had one. He had Jeremy Roach.
No, currently. In year 3.
Currently, yeah. No, currently he does not have any. Yeah.
He has 0 K players.
No, he has Stanley Borden and Spencer Hubbard. Don't you dare forget about those two.
He has 0 scholarship.
Mr. McGetty.
They both have scholarships.
He has 0 players who were scholarship players under K.
Okay, all right, that's a good way to put it.
3rd year.
All right, you got to it, Jack. You got to be careful with the wording, man. Look, Ben is a lawyer. He was going to come at you with that wording, man. It's very important.
Speaking of wording, let me jump in on something. I want to say this. This is from Matt Norlander at CBS over on Blue Sky, because I think this is a garbage.
Perpetual Duke hater, by the way.
All right, let me just read this. Potentially missing the NCAA tournament because of a lane violation while your teammate is at the line is an instantly infamous incident. Unfortunately, too many adverbs. Anyway, I feel really bad, really bad for Jalen Withers, but also UNC should have never even gotten to a place where it needed this game to ensure a bid. The problem with that take is if Proctor hits his free throws, we're not having this conversation.
We're not even having a conversation.
Yeah.
And second, I don't know if we're there if Malik can play or Coop can play or one or both can play. So I know the natural reaction, and as much as I like the OG podcast, they had something up there too. Rivalry shocker, lane violation allows Duke to hold on, sweep North Carolina out of ACC tournament. I mean, come on, it's not just the lane violation. I mean, if Proctor hits those free throws, we're not having this conversation. And you
Right.
can't just boil it down to that one play. I mean, Carolina had a crazy free throw advantage down the stretch. I mean, AC, you and I were texting about this.
Yep.
Stop fouling because you're letting them score with the clock running. That was a huge, that was a huge factor. And for anybody to say, we're going to throw it on this one kid, tell me you don't understand the sport of basketball without saying you don't understand the sport of basketball. I mean, that's just a garbage take.
Yeah. No, it is. That's a bad take. And you know what though? Let's be ready for people taking away from this win, because they're gonna. Like, we're missing Flag, we're missing Malik. If we lost this game, we were, at least on this podcast, we were not going to use Coop being out as an excuse. If we lost the game, especially being up 21, we were up 21 without him, so we weren't going to use him being without him the reason we lost the game, because we were up 21 without.
We were up 24, AC.
24, excuse me, yeah, 24 without him. So we weren't going to use Coop being out as an excuse to lose the game. Like, we lost the game. If we lost the game, we lost it because we lost it. But the fact that people are just blatantly ignoring that Cooper Flag was not in the game, and blatantly ignoring that we didn't have Malik Brown, and then using an excuse like that, the lane violation, everything else, okay, cool. Like, that was the moment. Those were the moments that happened. But don't get it twisted.
When do people ever make excuses like that for the Blue Devils?
They don't, and they won't, and I don't want them to.
Exactly.
By the way,
When we got swept in the regular season in 2019, when Zion blew his shoe out 30 seconds into the first game,
yeah, nobody cared. They cared.
No
about
excuse.
Zion,
No
but
excuse.
there were no excuses given.
And then we beat them by one. We beat them by one when we were both at full health. Actually, we weren't at full health because Marquise Bolton got hurt in the second Carolina game and was out for the ACC tournament.
Correct.
Excuse me.
I don't give a fuck. I don't.
We
I
beat
wanna-
them.
I want to take it back because y'all talking about John, and personally I'm confused because everything I read about John is all he does is roll the ball out at practice because recruiting.
He's a
He
great
doesn't have to
recruiter.
coach.
Didn't you hear Wally Zerbe?
Guys,
all he
he's
does is
not
walk out and just-
Calipari.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything. So
That's
why
what
John
Cal
so good
does.
now?
John's an actual coach.
Didn't
People
you
forget
hear?
that 2 years ago, the team would stop in the middle of a fast break to look to him for a play call.
Mhm.
Look, anybody who gets Caleb Foster to get the kind of minutes defensively that we've seen from him in these last 3 games knows what he's doing. I mean, that's coaching. That's coaching. Trust that kid to have that relationship to get him in there. That's coaching.
We talked about it, AC, on Spaces a lot. I almost think he probably did have that Quinn Cook moment because we still go back to the game. And I forget who made the shot, but when everybody put up their left hand and he was included, and I had never seen him be included with the team like that before, I think they had their moment. And then, because he was engaged in the game, I think that's why he got into the next game. And I think that mind game worked.
And less Quinn Cook moment, and he's kind of more like Grayson Allen at this point. Because he was deleted from the rotation. Like Caleb Foster,
you don't have your phone?
let's not forget he was deleted from the rotation. And that's no shit on him or anything else. Like, he was deleted from the rotation, and I think it was appropriate to think, okay, I guess he's not a part of this team unless it's like an emergency situation. And this is an emergency situation that we're in currently, by the way. But I think he also earned regular time as well.
Well, that's where like I'm going to Shire in this whole thing. And again, when Shire was hired, not a fan. I love Shire as a player. I thought it was great. I wasn't so sure about that hire. But when else have we seen a team like so many times?
How do you feel about Shire now?
Listen.
Yeah.
He's my guy. I'm about to name my new dog after him. I swear to God. Like, he's the guy. Not only is he a phenomenal recruiter, but what he's done with this team, they're so deep.
Yep.
But and they are. How many teams have we had that are so deep? Well, they're so deep. Absolutely are. But how many teams have we seen that are so deep that actually end up helping us? And again, I go like Isaiah. He wasn't a part of this team. I'm like, okay, Isaiah, maybe he can help us next year. Then all of a sudden he comes in, he helps us in Auburn. But now, like, he started tonight. And he's gotten progressively better. He's gotten progressively better defensively, which is what's gotten him on the floor, etc. And like,
could you imagine Luke Kennard playing defense the way Isaiah played tonight?
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Like he's done a phenomenal job with this team. Caleb Foster was done, man. Like this guy was headed to Miami. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's gone, he's done. And next thing I know, he's flexing in the North Carolina game. And not this one, but the one before that. And like, who can do that? Like, what coach can do? I'm telling you, man. Shire's
by the
guy,
way,
man.
everybody is saying that Donovan Dent from New Mexico is going to come to Duke next year. Y'all can go ahead and squash that.
No go.
Yeah, you can go ahead and squash that shit. Go ahead and squash that.
Are we getting Isaiah back next year?
No, I don't know if we're getting Zay back, but there's a chance that we get Reese and Foster back. But even if we don't get those guys back, if Duke is by the way, if Duke is listed with somebody in the portal right now, don't listen to it. Like, like Duke moves.
Duke is focused on one thing right now. It's the chip.
They are, but John does look ahead, and
I know John's looking ahead,
and they move in silence. And if kind of like last year, you're not gonna know about a portal guy until they're taking a visit or John is taking a visit to them, like he did with Mason Gillis. And then when that happens, then you know it's real. But if somebody's just saying, "Oh, Duke is interested in me," that means that Duke put their name in the portal. They went to the portal link, clicked the check mark so that they can get the videos on the guy, and then that's it.
The portal, just so you guys are aware, doesn't even open until the Monday after the second round of the tournament.
Exactly. So,
and I wonder if Foster, there's been a lot of rumors about him going in the portal. I wonder if with these minutes he's getting, he's going to want to ride this thing out.
It's not even just the minutes; it's the way he's been handled. Like John gave him every chance this season to earn time back with the team. He wasn't producing, and if Caleb was honest about himself, he would say, "I'm not producing." And his family is not one to run away from things, by the way. But he would be honest with himself and say, "I wasn't doing what I needed to do." And then John continued to put him in games. He put him in games as not just blowout games, but like as a part of the rotation. And then when he proved that he was not a part of the rotation, he worked his way out of the rotation. Guys beat him out. And that's another part of the honesty of John Shire. If you're not helping this team, then you're out of the rotation. And that was Caleb Foster for a brief moment in time. And every time that he was taken out of the rotation, he got minutes, and John still put him in blowouts and some other stuff, but he put him in with the main guys. It wasn't just like he wasn't in with Spencer Hubbard and those dudes. He was in with Kuba and them at times. And he let him try to regain his mental confidence. Like, you could see it. So like what he did with Caleb Foster, in my opinion, was the epitome of coaching. And he's never gonna get the benefit of the doubt as a coach. He'll win Coach of the Year. If he stays at Duke long enough, he'll win Coach of the Year because he'll outlast everybody else, and there will just be no good coaches in the ACC at that point.
But who cares if he doesn't get Coach of the Year, man?
No, for real. At this point, the way that they have dictated that award, at this point, who wants it? No, like, who cares? We don't want it. Nobody wants it. Like, Pat Kelsey can have it. That's fine. Next year, Jay Lucas can get it. That's fine.
Well, let me just say this for the record. Because I went to college at Charleston. Fuck Pat Kelsey. All right. Let me say that. All right. Well, let me throw this in here too. If the way that Foster's been handled, if I'm Carrawell and if I'm Shire, I say, hey, just go out there, bring energy, get some steal, play defense, and pass the ball. And
anything else is great.
He'll get 10 to 12 minutes a game, easy if he does.
Yeah, at this point, definitely. I mean,
anything Caleb gives you is gravy. Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this. We talked about the Nolan situation his sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like telling everyone, "Oh, I am not staying here. I am gone. I'm gone." And
Nolan was done.
Things changed.
Nolan was done before the Maryland game where he got the concussion.
Yep. Things changed, and look at what happened.
Yeah.
Also, since we mentioned Maryland, fuck Maryland.
Yes, sir.
You know they're gonna put Maryland in our bracket, right? You know that, right?
We haven't played them in over 10 years. I wouldn't be happy. I would be happy if they did.
Oh, that they're gonna find a way to get Maryland in our bracket. I can't wait too.
I want the smoke.
Hey.
I want the smoke.
I can't wait.
I think John did an amazing job for not playing Foster during the Wake Forest game and challenging challenging him. Like, hey,
that was a challenge.
Huh?
That was a challenge. You're right.
Like, hey, like, I'm not going to put you in because it's you. And he's responded so well.
Yes.
That it's hard not to play him now because of the way he responded.
Mm-hmm.
That's the genius of Shire, though. Like that's what kind of coach he is.
Yeah.
And the most beautiful thing about that is not even just
Eddie, go ahead, man.
Not even just how Caleb responded, but if you're a player someplace else coming in from the portal, and you saw, like you said, you see how many chances he got and how John handled that, you got to be like, I want to go to Duke. So,
yeah, no, I mean, it's just gonna keep rolling too because we're gonna keep getting these recruits, we're gonna keep getting these portal dudes. Like the fact that Steve James is gonna get drafted because of what he's done at Duke, more than likely, is going to speak to a guy in the portal who might not be listed in the portal until late, kind of like CM was, who wants to try out the NBA draft for a little bit. And it's one of those players that's like on the precipice of the draft, but they aren't quite good enough to be in a draft, but they have these intangibles. Maybe they're a bigger dude or they play defense or whatever else. Like that type of guy is going to go to Duke now because of CM James. And like John's going to be able to take that guy like late in the portal now. So like don't get discouraged if in the beginning of the portal season this year, Duke's not listed with a bunch of dudes or we don't get a bunch of guys. Like don't get discouraged because what's going to end up happening is John's going to get guys at that draft deadline. And so now you're talking about somebody who has NBA talent or NBA size or some kind of NBA intangible, but maybe just needs to be coached differently from what they were before. And they're going to go to Duke now because of that. They're not going to go to UConn. They're not going to go to UNC. They're not going to go to, Auburn or some of these other places. They're going to go to Duke for that because they see it. They see what happened for Sion James. Sion James is going to get drafted this year because of Duke. They're going to see that. He wasn't going to get drafted last year. So that's awesome.
I also hope a perk of how John is coaching that. I think they already named Eric Spoelstra the coach of the USA team, but since it's going to be Team USA Blue Devils in 2008, I'm calling it right now. We're going to have like 5 players on that team. They should call John up to be an assistant coach on the team.
Yeah, depending on who the coach is, Tatum might come back at least. He might come back. He might come back. We got Matt Lofton in the house. What's good, Matt? Matt always brings some good Duke stats to the table. Matt, you there? If not, we're going to take it over to Derek real quick in a minute because Derek has been killing these UNC fans.
Hold on. Well, Matthew, if you're not going to say anything, I'm going to read his fact off. He said Duke won both regular season games and the ACC in the tournament for the first time since 2002. UNC hasn't done it since 1976. I have a fact. I got a fact for y'all. Elliot Cadeau, Hubert Davis, R.J. Davis, Seth Trimble, Van Allen Lubin, and whoever else plays on that sorry-ass fucking team is all some fucking bums, and North Carolina can go to hell because they fucking suck.
Yes,
I don't care if they came back. Like I said, we can talk about the real game and everything. End of the day, they lost. They can go to the NIT. They can kiss my ass and take K. Tyson and $700,000 man, and they can go somewhere else.
Let's go.
The whole ass.
NIT. Word to Coach Pablo, the whole ass. In fact, the whole team is the whole ass, man. And yeah, I'm not going to say it was all the refs, but Carolina got every single call they wanted. Duke probably still should have won by 8 to 10 points, but I mean, Carolina was getting every call. Duke players are going straight up, but you know what? Fuck them. It's okay. I don't know if they're going to make the tournament or not. I don't even care. They're going to lose.
You know they will. Their AD is the chair of the selection.
Dude, there's no way they make this tournament.
Not make the tournament.
I know they will. I know that they will. No way.
Hey, no reason. They almost beat Duke.
1
so that's
and 12
them,
against Q1. 1 and 12 against Q1.
No way.
They almost beat Duke though. Almost beat Duke without
Bro.
and without Malik Brown.
Hubert Davis in
Almost.
that seat. Whatever it takes to keep Hubert Davis in that seat, they can get in. Whatever. Just keep Hubert Davis right where he is, and I'm gonna have to.
Keep him
Hey
there.
man,
for sure.
he's already under contract through 2030.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah,
That's
definitely
good.
keep him there. But damn, they can't make the tournament with that
I'm
resume.
pushing
They
for
had the
lifetime
nerve
contract.
during the game. They had the nerve to put their resume up, and you knew it was UNC. It wasn't even like it was a secret. They're like blind resume, and it was clearly UNC.
It was very clearly UNC, and it was also very clearly Arkansas.
and very clearly Arkansas, and it was like, what are you doing? Number
Also,
one,
fuck Arkansas.
right,
Fuck them
right,
too.
right.
I wasn't even alive
Fuck
for
Arkansas.
94, and I'm still mad.
About North Carolina right now.
Fuck Arkansas and North Carolina. Dude, what the? Get the fuck out of my face! Like
118 to 84. I'm gonna hold that on Calipari no matter where he's coaching.
I want to
whatever.
say
Duke beat Arkansas in the Final Four in 1990. So fuck it with Phil Henderson. So fuck.
Shout out to ESPN for letting us know that Jalen Withers had 2 points tonight too. You know, I feel like that's the foulest thing I've ever seen in my life. That they really put that on.
Do we make it? Is it 2
Was
points
that
or
an
is it
actual
1 point?
graphic?
Because
That's
they
a
took
good
one
catch.
away.
That's a good
Yeah,
catch.
man. This was right
took
after
one
the
away.
game. If y'all can rewind on your cable feed, if you go back, it said Jalen
my
Withers
God.
2 points, man.
That was an actual graphic.
That's insane. That's
I'm
actually
telling you.
insane.
You go rewind. Look at this.
That's some
Look at the
A-level
timestamp,
trolling.
25
man.
minutes.
That is some A-level
Somebody,
trolling.
somebody
minutes
doesn't
of
like North
football.
Carolina. There must be somebody a Duke fan.
That is
That's funny.
wild.
That is insane.
Gerald
That
Henderson
is
snuck
wild.
They could have put me up Eddie 0 points tonight. For the
Has anybody noticed that like all the bleeding clips are always North Carolina? It's never Duke bleeding. It's always North Carolina bleeding. They're so dramatic.
I love that even
Hey,
their
hold on. Can we
bodies are
also-
dramatic, man.
They're so dramatic. It's
Man,
never
Elliott
Duke
could go
bleeding.
tonight.
I don't
First
care
of
what
all,
his mom has
once
to say.
again-
He's soft, man.
He's
Fuck
gone
him too.
anyway. He's
Again,
gonna leave
listen,
after this year.
Yeah.
He's
I
transferring
mean, he
out.
speared Khan trying to dive for the loose ball. I mean, I know you can dive on the loose ball, but he sent his head straight into Khan's chest.
Yep.
I mean,
Then,
you
I
heard
don't know
what he
if y'all
said
know-
about Gongba.
He said he was going to slap the shit out of Pat. I was like, yeah, come on. Like, let's be real with ourselves, man. Like,
Yeah.
I love
Set
to
your
see you
expectations.
try, bro. Come on. You're a little boy. He's a grown man.
he did have a good game, though, but fuck him.
He did
Oh,
have a
yeah.
good game. He's
Yeah,
the only one
life
who
is
hit a three
life.
for them.
Yeah,
Fuck him.
and they still lost.
Wait, Jack, is that true? He's the only person to hit a three for UNC?
Yep.
Yeah, tonight he was. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he hit three.
I didn't realize
Yeah,
that. Watching
That's
it
why
was
I kept posting everywhere. Play zone, play zone. The only person
Yeah.
that's beating you from the outside is Elliot Cadeau, and if that's the case, you play zone. He's not going to keep
Honestly,
beating you
though,
from there.
From a coaching standpoint, Jack, it's almost like if Elliot Cadeau is the only one hitting threes and he didn't hit that many threes, it's almost like don't go zone if what you're doing is working. It's
fair.
like force him into these 2-point shots.
I mean,
I'll
Ace, the
take it.
issue is no one else was even shooting them or even
Yeah,
looking
they
to
weren't
shoot.
even
They
trying.
kind of
But
gave
then
up shooting
you're
the three.
now you're inviting RJ Davis to shoot a three from the zone.
Yeah,
It's
that's
almost
a fair
like
point.
it's
I don't
it's
care,
tough.
man.
That's
I
tough.
don't care. We won.
We won.
It's
We
Louisville's
won.
down one. Clemson's up one on them right now.
Louisville's gonna win this game, man. I got money on it. I told you.
You got
And
money on
I'm
Clemson.
going against the Vegas number because Clemson got 1.5 for this game, and that's the Vegas number. If they got 1.5, they're winning the game. Just put the money line on them. But
yeah.
I think Louisville's winning this game, man. I do it. It's Friday. Friday goes against the Vegas numbers just to even things out. We're going with Louisville tonight, y'all. I don't give a fuck. Fuck them because they hate Duke anyway, so fuck them anyway. But they're gonna win tonight.
I mean, 1986, man.
86. Whole lot of parallels. Fuck Clemson. Fuck Louisville. Fuck UNC. Fuck them all. I don't give a fuck. Fuck
Another
them.
one I was not alive for, but still feel the pain of. It's generational trauma right there.
Man, what a night, dude.
Yeah.
What a night. No Coop, no Malik. We're not gonna
No.
use it as an excuse.
No Coop.
We
no
damn sure
Malik,
gonna celebrate that
no
shit.
problem.
Yeah,
First
yeah,
24 minutes.
Let's go,
Okay.
Duke. Let's go,
I'm not gonna
Duke.
lie,
Oh,
though.
man.
You know, when Carolina got it down to 6, I had to put my phone face down and say, yeah, they
Yep.
got it, man. I said, they got it. I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? So these boys, but, you know, I feel like 95% 95% of every other Duke team that we've ever had probably loses that game.
Oh yeah.
And you know the resilience. I mean, they folded at the end of the day. We folded,
Right.
but you know, just the ability to hold on, get a stop on the last possession. You know, Khan is a freshman to make those free throws, man. Like, you know.
But that's why this team is not like they don't fit in that 95%. Like they're outside of the 90% because that's the biggest thing, man. Like this is just it's a special team. It's just I'm running out of superlatives. It's a special team. They're incredible. I don't know what else to say. Honestly, man, I don't know what else to say about them. I just don't. I don't know. Like, just enjoy watching this team because you're not gonna see it very often.
This team, I don't think we're ever gonna see anything like this team again. Like we have to cherish the hell out of this.
I think with what John does, I think we will see another team like this. However, it'll be different, right? It won't be the same as this. Like it won't be defensively the same, or it won't be like this is a 1-on-1 situation that we have right here, and with the defense and everything else. But there will be another team that comes along that is just completely dominant on the offensive end, or completely dominant on the defensive end, or something. John will have something cooked up, and they will exceed expectations in a way that's historic. But this team having so many contingencies all over the court, Ben, just so
good.
We have a contingency for Coop being out. Like, what? The rest of the nation is looking at this like, what the fuck do we do?
They lost,
and you're right.
Playing the draft, and they still won the game.
And you're talking about Khan. That's another one that at the beginning of the season, I thought he was a shooter. Like I thought he was a 3-point shooter, and I'm like, he ain't hitting no threes, man. Get him.
You should have been here on the Patreon.
We've been saying.
Look, Jeff, you are a preview member. Go watch. Go now. Go back and watch the Concanipple.
I need to
player profile.
I need to because when Cooper went out yesterday, I was like, oh, this guy
he took over.
He's more. He's not a shooter. Like he is a shooter, but he's more than that.
Well, I kept telling people, they were so down on him on Duke Twitter for sure when he was struggling, and I'm just like, man, this dude is being targeted almost because of the summer he had. They were trying to take him out of the game, and so with the best defender being on Khan, everybody else ate. But not only did that happen at that time, Khan got used to the pressure. And now we're seeing the fruits of that labor. So, I mean, when everybody was down on Khan,
on top of Khan being an exceptional basketball player, by the way.
Oh yeah,
that's the main gist of it. It's like he was always gonna figure it out. He just needed to figure out the timing and figure out everything else with the the rest of the team. Like he was always gonna be great. But it was people saw a white player who can shoot threes, who played in Wisconsin,
and his name is Khan.
So give him 5 strikes. Yeah, 5 strikes against him. Like
yes.
You know what I mean? Like that was what it was. And it was like, first one in the gym, last one out. Like you know what I mean? Like it was
all the things that I've jokingly said over the course of the season on the podcast.
No, you're right. But
the motherfucker is he's a baller, and like Ant Wright comes on Spaces, and Ant Wright says some GM's gonna get fired.
Get fired. Yep.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Nope.
If the Sixers don't get Cooper, I want them to get Khan if they keep.
Khan's gonna end up on a lottery team that is not too far away from contending, and he's gonna be an important part of that team. Like bottom line.
I don't know if I can find the old tweet, but I did read a couple weeks ago that I feel like I heard this, that like San Antonio was like kind of hell bent, like determined to try to find a way to get Khan, maybe in like the 6 to 8 range, possibly.
If San Antonio can't get Coop,
Khan's a perfect fit for them.
Is an absolute second place. Awesome. Fuck
he can run his own race. Aaron Fox, Wemby.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
Especially if the coach, whoever the new coach of San Antonio is going to be after next year, if it's one of like Pop's descendants, like if it's somebody who's gonna have the Popovich type of game plan or whatever, Khan fits that shit perfectly. He's absolutely new Manu Ginobili, bro.
I was about to say, is that Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Parker?
He's absolutely new Manu. He's 100% new Manu.
All right, boys, I gotta bounce.
Ben, thank you for coming
It's
on.
good to see you, Ben. Thank you for coming on.
I gotta get my miles in. Thanks for inviting me on. Let's go Duke. Let's win.
We'll have you on the pod too soon.
Amen. Let's go Duke.
Yes, sir.
Let's go Duke.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me ask y'all this real quick about Khan, though. Let's be real. Where does Khan rank in terms of like pure 3-level scorers? You can say it as just freshman in Duke history. You know, Khan, he gets to those spots like a pro, man. You know,
fuck. Don't even put the freshman tag on him because he's still better than most guys who have stayed at Duke for 4 years.
Is it a hot take to say he's a better 3-level scorer than Barrett?
No, it's not a hot take because Barrett didn't have a mid-range game.
Yeah,
it's true.
He either had the 3 or he had the lane. That was it.
But it's crazy because in high school, I feel like he took a lot of mid-range shots.
He did, and that was one thing that really surprised me. Him and Cam Reddish both. Like that was the thing that surprised me about both those dudes.
Don't even talk to me about Cam. You know I watched so many of his
high
school games.
I know, but with Cam it was a different thing. It was a mental thing. But Barrett, like RJ Barrett, by the way, has never done anything wrong in my eyes. So fuck that. I don't care what anybody says about RJ Barrett.
It's true.
I don't care what anybody says about RJ Barrett, but no, RJ was not a 3-level scorer. He was either 3 or he was 2. That was it for him. Yeah. And kind of Zion had the capability of being a mid-range scorer, but he just never relied on it because he didn't have to.
I believe he took 2 mid-range shots all season.
Right, and one of them was in that Kentucky game, so it was great.
I will be right back.
Yep. But in terms of 3-level scorers at Duke, now you're talking about Shane Battier, you're talking about Mike Dunleavy, you're talking about Phil Henderson, Danny Ferry.
Yeesh.
I'm trying to name some more, man.
I mean, really, Christian Laettner was a 3.
Laettner. Yeah, you gotta count
Laettner. Absolutely.
Grant Hill.
Yep.
I wouldn't say Grant because Grant wasn't a 3-point shooter.
Yeah, Grant was not a shooter, an outside.
He wasn't a 3-point shooter. I wouldn't put Grant as a 3-level.
I think he got better as like his time at Duke got
better. Was still 30%. Like
he was like 33.
He wasn't a good 3-point shooter at Duke. Like he wasn't. Like that was just never his thing. It just wasn't his thing. He was in that era where he was in the bridge, and he just never didn't embrace that part of the game.
Okay,
you compare that to Laettner, who was a 55% 3-point shooter his senior year.
Right.
Spencer Herbert.
Spencer Hubbard for sure.
Spencer Hubbard.
Count down the craziness. Christian Reeves. Summer Wendell Moore was.
If we're talking 3 levels,
wait. Please don't forget Jalen Withers, man. But we're not gonna sit here and talk about race. I'm not standing for this, man. We're not
Withers, man. Withers.
He's done this before. When he was at Louisville, he was the reason that they didn't come all the way back against the Final Four team in 22.
The reason that they lost in this. That 3-pointer that he took in the Sweet 16 last year, man.
Yeah.
So that hurt so bad.
At least Withers hit 7 threes a few nights ago, man. He put on for
Jalen Withers. He hit 7 threes to set this moment up, and I applaud that motherfucker for that shit. Thank you, Jalen.
I've never seen him play well against a good team, man. He's never played against a good team. It's crazy.
Wait! You're telling me Notre Dame's not a good team?
Hey, it's hell when you play defense. That defense. Defense disrupts a lot of things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Oh, bro, Jalen Withers, man. But yeah, I mean, just in the annals of 3-level scores, I think you got Bari. I think you got Jason Tatum.
I mean, Coop at this point, the way he's been able to pick his spots too, man. It's crazy.
He's a 3-level scorer for sure.
Yeah, come on, man. I feel he's just one of the best, 1B Robin players we've had.
Yeah.
He's just
the
moment we needed him, he gave us almost 30 and 7 last night, man.
Right, for him to be a freshman doing this shit is
crazy.
Just crazy.
That's why this is not normal. This is not normal.
Hey, and he doesn't go out the game.
No, he doesn't.
No, man, he's
Hey,
playing 38 to 40 minutes.
at
hey,
this-
he
Yeah,
didn't go,
this
I don't
is
think
crazy.
I don't
this
think he
point in
went
the
out
season, he's
against
not
North
coming out.
Carolina in Chapel Hill. I don't think
Let's
he
check.
went out against Georgia Tech.
At this point in the season, he's not coming out of the game.
No.
He's just not.
He's not coming out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's like here-
Constat
like-
for 1 minute in Chapel Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
And we talked all this time. We even brought up Jalen Weathers, but AC, I can't believe nobody's missing Drake Powell. How great a
That
play he is.
that 3-pointer he took on the wing made me throw up because I knew that one going in. And I was like, that's ridiculous, man.
Man, remember, dog.
Can we talk about the air ball that turned
Drake
into a foul? That was a load of shit.
Drake Powell is the half slinging slasher, motherfucker. That's who that
He
motherfucker
fouled
is.
so damn hard.
If anybody watches SpongeBob, that's the half slinging slasher, bro.
If anybody, AC, come on, people watch SpongeBob. It's a
He's a
rite of
figment of
passage for like
people's
4 different
imagination,
generations worth of people.
He's a figment. He's Jackie Manuel with a taper fade, bro. Fuck that. Fuck him, dog.
Oh,
Same shit. He
And
can't
look-
score. He can only foul you. Fuck that shit.
Ian Jackson also MIA. I feel like they said. I think I saw something about
Did he
him.
play tonight? Did he
I think
play?
he's practicing.
He did.
Ramadan. So I think I'm dead. And I'm not trying to
He
be
has
funny.
some cardio.
I think he's practicing some. I think he's practicing Ramadan. I'm being dead ass. Not even trying to be
It's
funny.
Ramadan.
But
But Diarra had Ramadan last year, and that motherfucker was playing
exactly.
like his food
Mo
was
Diarra
everywhere.
during Ramadan is
Yes,
like
crazy.
up there with Countdown Christian Reeves.
Yeah. Ramadan Diarra that's the motherfucker, dog. That's Malcolm X type shit, man. Fuck that.
For real.
Fuck that.
Nah, man.
bro.
Ian Jackson tonight, 10
don't get a
minutes, 2
pass.
rebounds, 1 assist,
You don't get
0
a
for
pass.
4, 0 for 2 from 3, 2 turnovers, 2 fouls,
I didn't
minus
realize he was
9.
on the floor tonight. That's how bad it was.
He does not get a pass. I'm sorry. He doesn't get a pass. We don't get a pass for Coop being out, and we don't get a pass for Malik being out, and we don't get a pass for Mason Gillis being out sick, and we don't get a pass for Cooper Flag being sick against Clemson. We don't get a pass for any of those motherfuckers. We don't get a pass for Carlos Boozer being out.
Martin Mitchell being out.
We don't get a pass for Shavit Randolph's feet being bad his entire career. We don't get a pass for any of that shit, man. Like, I'm not giving anyone a pass for anything. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I do not care, bro. I don't.
By the way, I just want to make this known. In his last game against Duke, RJ Davis put up 8 points on 4 of 10 shooting and 0 for 3 from deep.
Fan-fucking-tastic. I don't care. Over. It's over. We don't have to
You
play
guys
that
know
fucking-
Love
I've
it.
been outspoken about this for 5 years. I like RJ Davis. Goodbye and good riddance.
He's ops. I don't give a fuck. Fuck him. I do too. I liked him as a prospect. I don't give a fuck. We recruited that motherfucker for a minute when we were recruiting AJ Griffin because they played on the same team. I don't give a fuck about that motherfucker. He's gone. He's done.
It's been 10 years. Maybe he was tired. Time to give up college.
Goodbye. He never did
He's
anything.
23 now, man.
Yeah.
Hey, learn Chinese, RJ. Learn Chinese, bro.
Yep. He's gonna be.
He
on
had to
ACC
say, get
network.
ready to learn Chinese, buddy.
He's
Damn.
gonna get ready to learn ACC. Get ready to
You mean
learn
they're
Taylor
gonna- wait.
Tannenbaum.
You're telling me they're gonna fire Joel Berry for him?
No, they'll be on the same they'll be on the same shit. It'll be them sitting in one chair because small ass motherfuckers.
Next to Jim
Gotta
Boeheim.
even that shit out beside Carlos Boozer.
They're the same
Joel
person.
Berry be looking real
That's what
small
you said.
beside Carlos Boozer, so they got to put those two motherfuckers in a chair beside Carlos.
Hey, they'll be sitting on RJ
Yeah.
be sitting on Joe Berry's lap.
Hey,
Yeah,
yo.
Yeah.
equally ineffective, equally unimportant in the history of ACC basketball. RJ
Yeah.
Davis will leave ACC basketball as the third leading scorer in 5 years, by the way, and nobody will care. Nobody will care. Nobody will care. Just like they don't care about UConn winning back-to-back titles. Just like they don't care about Florida winning back-to-back titles. Nobody cares about that shit.
If this was his last
So
game, he will
unimportant.
finish. I think he's like 100 points behind JJ for second.
That's fine. JJ
And
did it in 4 years.
And
He did it
JJ
in
did it
5.
in one less year.
And Jason Williams is like 6 on that list, and he did it in 3.
All right,
by the way.
time out. He's a little lower than that because he's 8th at Duke.
Jay Williams?
Jay Will is 8th at Duke. But
All right, well then,
he's the only 3-year
whatever.
player in the top 15.
Whatever. He did it in 3 years.
He did.
Yeah, I'll take Jay Will over RJ every day.
Any day.
Of course.
Any day. It's not even a question.
But I'll tell you what I do.
If somebody says they would take RJ Davis over Jay Will, they are.
Hey, let me tell you what. I'll take
Kelly might.
Hey,
My bad.
I'll take Elliott Cadeau.
I'm
I'll
tripping.
take Elliott Cadeau over both of them.
Take Elliott, like tonight's Elliott Cadeau or regular Elliott Cadeau? Those are two different players.
I'm starting a franchise tonight. Elliott Cadeau is #1 pick.
Yeah, you got your franchise PG.
Oh,
100% from 3, 5 or 6 assists.
Give me a top 5 of your favorite.
Gets 4 fouls, mugs people, and never gets called for one
again. Give me top 5 favorite UNC players.
Who, me?
Anybody, yeah.
Let me. I got this.
Can I do this?
Y'all want to hear? Y'all need the list?
Hey, can I do this?
Y'all know. Let me hear you
first. Let me get Vihaj first.
Vihaj first.
All right. Elliott Cadeau.
Elliott's on the team? Okay.
K. Tyson.
Yep. He got to be.
That's number 2. Like 1 and 2. Oh, shot, dude. I'm trying to think now. Damn. Dude, I mean, can I just pick the starting 5 of this year's team?
All right, go ahead, bro.
Okay, hey, the starting 5 for this year's team. Because this is the worst. Hey, this is the worst North Carolina team that I've ever seen in person.
Are you forgetting about the 20 or the 1920 team?
Yeah, just 2 years ago.
COVID didn't even end their season, dude. Syracuse ended their season before COVID did.
There's some Brad Daugherty teams on that list too. That's got to be one of the
That's
worst.
what I'm trying to think though. Like Brad Daugherty, but I mean he had Joe Forte. Forte was pretty good.
He had Forte and he had Ray Felton. Matt Daugherty had the bridge between.
I'm sorry, I can't say Brad.
Matt Daugherty had the bridge between 2 teams. Like he had some players. So
hey,
Matt
who's
Daugherty
on that team?
Matt Daugherty has to be the coach though of that team though. The UNC team they're picking, he has to be the coach.
Yeah, I don't know. He was pushing for that position.
I'm putting Chris Lang on the team because Chris Lang was ugly as fuck.
Oh, God, Chris Lang.
That's the ugliest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, back in the late 70s, early 80s, Rich Yoniker.
Dude, Chris
Lang,
an
ugly man, and the reason the airball chant exists.
Yeah, he is.
I got some story. I got some story for that.
Chris Lang
story. Your story about the airball.
You gotta put Ed Cole on that list because I swear Ed Cole played against Wojciechowski and then William Avery. I mean, he was on the team for 10 years.
He played against Perry Ellis in the 1930s.
Ed Cole was
definitely have to put you definitely have Jalen Weathers obviously is on the team.
Oh, yeah. Y'all want to hear my top 5?
Weathers, definitely.
Are we saying the worst UNC players? Is that what it is?
I'm saying my favorite. I'm saying my favorite UNC players.
Hey, can I get my
I gotta
favorite
put Dirk
5?
Kyle on that list. He got nominated a few spaces ago.
Eddie, we're not talking about Duke players.
I'm saying my favorite UNC players, baby. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Jalen Withers played for Duke.
Go ahead, Derek.
No, I was just gonna say real quick. I still feel like Coop got ACC Defensive Player of the Year, but Chucky Hepburn has 9 points and 5 steals. He's getting off right now. I'm gonna just give him the right there.
No, he is. He's the ACC steals leader, right? Like that's what got him the award overall. Eventually, was the ACC steals leader.
It's Ted.
But yeah, man, my favorite 5 UNC players of all time.
Give it to me.
I gotta go Pete Nance.
Fucking Pete Nance, let's go.
Andrew Platek, number 4.
You're stealing my list, Derek.
Hey, who is that big guy? Number 42, Joel James.
Joel James.
Number 3. Number 2, K. Tyson. I mean, I've talked to some Carolina fans, some people that are like locked in with the program, and they swear up and down if they had not given K. Tyson money, then they could have gotten the big man this year. Thank you, God, for K. Tyson's dad for not pulling out, honestly. Shout out to them. And number 1, I got to give flowers to the GOAT. The reason that we're here today, Jalen Withers, what else can I say about that legendary basketball player, man? I'm just so proud, to know him and to see him fail. Fuck him, man.
Dude, that was a pretty good.
That was legendary.
Hey,
I will say, I have a lot of overlap with you, Derek.
Hey, man, I just want to say, man, every team's gonna have some guys that don't really pan out at the D1 level, but Carolina has had some sorry ass fucking players on their teams, man.
Can we get some love for Luke Zeller for tapping in his own miss in the goaltend? Tyler Zeller in the Austin Rivers game? Can we get some love for my man Tyler Zeller?
Yeah. He gets credit. And for getting cooked by Austin on that shot.
Yeah. Can we get some love for Tyler Zeller?
Can I drop my 5 real quick?
Yeah, Zach. Zach, go ahead.
All right. So first and foremost, we got the GOAT, Rashad McCants.
He put them in a blender, bro.
He did.
He put them in a blender.
Pete Nance, who I actually really liked at Northwestern, and I was so mad when he went to Carolina, and then I wasn't. We got Rich Yannicker because my uncle yelled at him, which is what caused the air ball to happen in the first place. That's a story for another time.
All right. I dig that.
Let's see. We got 2 more spots, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, Withers gets one of them after his performance tonight. Who the hell is my 5th guy?
Tyler Zeller. It's gotta be Zeller.
I don't think it's Tyler Zeller.
It's not even Zeller?
Nah.
Zeller's the reason the Austin Rivers should even happen.
There's a name that I'm forgetting.
Tyler Hansbrough.
No. Oh, no. I hate
Mokhtar Ndaye.
No, it's Ty Lawson because he started beef with Roy Williams.
Ty Lawson, bro.
Tywan Lawson. What a man.
Ty Lawson's been on Twitter chirping. He ain't say nothing tonight, though.
He tried to say something tonight, and then he was like, nah.
Hey, Ty Lawson was chirping all day on Twitter, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was chirping, man.
I'm like, what?
It's crazy because he had
from you. I hadn't heard from you since you graduated in North Carolina.
No. We heard from him once when he said, I'm not going back to that sorry-ass school while Roy Williams is still coaching.
Yep, he did say that shit. Don't forget Carolina family.
Well, he didn't go back until
sweet baby. Until we brought the broom out tonight, bro. Sweet.
There are 3 L's in Chapel Hill.
Sweet, dog. Sweet. They want to talk about sweep all year last year. We did it in 3. Y'all did it in 2. Sweet.
I got 3 more UNC players. That's great, man.
Give it to me. Give me the bench. Give me the bench.
Jalik Felton. I think that was his name.
Jalek, yeah.
Jalek Felton, yeah. 7th Woods, the chosen.
Oh, he was the one. He was the one I was thinking of.
Woods, bro.
7th Woods.
You know what? This guy actually might be back on the team next year. Oh, bitch ass Zayden High too. Forget him too.
Zayden High, dog.
Zayden High. I think I've told you guys, Zayden High, I have a friend who used to work the front desk at an apartment building in Chapel Hill, and Zayden High and Armando Baycott both lived there.
Mm-hmm.
And he had nothing good to say about either of them. Mind you, this was a UNC alum who loves basketball. He had nothing nice to say about either of the 2 of them.
Yeah, well. Oh, well.
Zayden High, first team all Twitter fingers, to be honest, though.
Those motherfuckers, bro.
Hey, I forgot all about 7th Woods, man. Like,
I did too, dog.
Dude,
Woods. That's a good pull.
I saw that kid play in high school.
Mixtape champion, bro. He won mixtape national championships.
That boy was 14, man. He was
for decades.
There was a guy
on. I know where he came from. Like, I know where he came from, and it wasn't. And Zion pretty much came from the same cloth as far as competition. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Who's your actual most hated UNC players? Like, if you're like, I hate these motherfuckers though.
Oh,
Hansbrough.
Okay, but what I feel like Hansborough's the easy answer. Is there anybody that we can take besides Hansborough, like a Bryce
Barnes? Harrison fucking Barnes.
Kennedy Meeks.
Yeah.
No,
if you grew up with Mokhtar Ndaye, you hate that motherfucker with a passion because he did. Here's the thing: Hansborough at least achieved. Ndaye was
trash, wasn't he?
And he talked the most shit ever.
Hey, you know who's taking over Hansborough's job right now? Elliot Cadeau. Dude,
that's fine. I hate Baycott way more than Cadeau because
I hate Baycott way.
Yeah. I coached against him. I'm gonna go Corey Alexander real quick. I coached that motherfucker in 8th grade. Fuck that bitch, dude. I saw him.
Baby back bitch.
Hey, Mr. Soft.
I had 5'11" white kids making Armando Baycott cry in the middle of a game, and that's not a joke. Literally. He was crying in the middle of a game with some 5'11" white kids guarding him. Like, get the fuck out of here. You sorry, bitch.
First
Hey,
UNC
Elliot
All-Star
Cadeau.
bench starter.
Hey,
he got
Elliot
it.
Cadeau has the little man syndrome, dude.
Yeah, he really does, man.
Hey, he talks so much
His mom
shit.
has the little man syndrome.
Hey, he talks so
Dude,
much
oh
shit.
my god.
Like even tonight, he was and the ref was like, "What are you talking about? Like, shut the fuck up."
Hey, AC.
He got there fast, but Brady Manning. I hate Brady Manning.
I don't have
I
beef with
respect-
Brady
I
Manning.
respect
Yeah.
what he did.
I respect Brady.
Light that shit up, man.
I respect Brady because he came in,
Dude,
he did his lumberjack shit with that lumberjack ass beard and fucked us up, bro. I watched it in person. That hurt so bad. That hurt.
So RJ Davis got interviewed after the game. He said,
Was it about Deja Kelly?
He said, I still think there's an NCAA tournament thing.
Of course he said that shit.
And
What a
then he
clown.
also said they asked him to reflect on his 5 years in North Carolina, and he said, I mean, shit, the season is not over yet. So, I respect him for being just, a little delusional. He also saw
he's ready for that crown championship in Vegas or whatever that fucking tournament is. UNC
The
gonna be in the
CBI?
crown, baby. They're gonna be in the crown, not the
Hey, I
CBI.
would
They're gonna be in
too,
the
dude,
crown.
for real.
They might as well be the CBI.
They're gonna be in the
Yo.
Vegas crown, baby. That's the
I'm
NIL
dead ass.
tournament.
If Carolina is in the NIT, if they put them in the NIT like they should, and they get a home game in Chapel Hill, y'all, I live 20 minutes from Chapel Hill. I will be at the game with a Duke jersey on, cheering for the
Bro,
other
you
team.
gonna be like that dude in the Miami game yelling out shit behind
I'm
the
dead
camera.
ass, man. I will be at the game, man. Look, I got people that can get me into a Chapel Hill game for free. I will be there,
I'll
Man.
pay. We'll put some money from the Patreon for your ticket, bro.
man. I will be at the game.
They're
I'll
gonna
go
go to the crown. UNC's gonna go to the crown. They're gonna go to the crown tournament. Watch.
Nah, man.
Hey.
Oh my god. Hey, if Carolina's in the NIT and Duke makes it to San Antonio,
They
I got
won't-
that Kyrie
won't
Irving
go
clip
to the
locked
NIT.
and loaded.
They
you know
won't
what I'm
go
saying,
to the
right?
NIT. Yeah,
You know
I
that
got you.
Kyrie
Oh,
clip.
they're gonna
from
turn
the
it down
interview?
because they're too good for the NIT.
They'll go to the crown
2010, the
tournament.
year after winning the national title, they went to the NIT, and I'm pretty sure they lost first round. I might be
They
wrong.
did.
but-
They did. I got the Roy Williams NIT video game meme. That shit is hilarious.
Yo,
It's just such a good night, man.
just to reflect on how mid that team has been this year. And stuff like Ken Pom is good analytics, but you don't have to take it for everything is worth.
Yep.
But this page is Brotherhood CBB said the 2025 Tar Heels have one win over a Ken Pom top 45 team this year.
Mm-hmm.
2 wins over top 60 teams, and in 11 games versus Ken Pom top 25 teams, they're 0-11. And they were down by 13 or more in every single one of those games, and they trailed for 87% of those games.
I love that. I'm gonna say something really nice about UNC really quickly. Because I remember a few years ago I was having a chat with Brotherhood CBB about one of the few good things Roy Williams could do at the end of his career, and that was he was able to get those guys conditioned to run cardio like he and Jackson did tonight. I know it's not Roy there anymore, but Hewitt's doing the same thing. He was the associate head coach for who knows how long. Because we talked about Kennedy Meeks a little bit earlier. I'm remembering Kennedy Meeks. That man was built like a left tackle when he got to Carolina, and he was not built like a left tackle anymore by the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him. I gotta find this photo now.
Yeah.
But yeah, conditioning so
Man,
they can get their cardio
Carlos
in games.
undefeated, baby. Yo,
Dude.
no way. Duke men's basketball put up 3rd times the charm. Yo, that's
crazy.
Isaiah says 3rd time's the charm at the end of the video too.
That's a beast.
By the way, I don't know if this is gonna show up. This is Kennedy Meeks in the All-American game.
Jesus Christ.
Left tackle.
Boy, man.
Yeah, this is what a night,
don't you wish that that Isaiah would have shot the ball better in the 3 games that he played against North Carolina?
Yes, but
it was
won.
I know that, but it was almost like he was so just amped up, excited to play North Carolina. It was, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All I know is I've never seen somebody celebrate harder on a lane violation than I saw when Isaiah saw Jalen Withers commit.
Isaiah been celebrating a lane violation and a jump
Yes, he
ball.
was.
Yeah, no, the hustle though. I mean, he didn't score, but I feel like that's really good to see from Isaiah because we saw him putting up 50 and 60 when he was in high school at Mecklenburg, and he gets the Duke, and people didn't think he was going to buy in.
Mm-hmm.
They thought he was just going to be me. He's going to transfer because he's not getting 20 shots a night, and he's like a glue guy at this point. And
he is.
Should Isaiah stay another year? I feel like we'll have to wait a few more weeks to really see what that's going to look like. But should he stay another year? He's a top 2 option on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out.
You're spot on.
You can look at the tea leaves. Like, we didn't recruit any 2s.
It's true.
We didn't recruit any shooting guards, and there weren't a lot anyway in this class coming up. But we didn't recruit any. I know Darren Harris is coming back. I think they will come back. I think that, like you said, the rhetoric was that he was going to go, and I think that was kind of spread by his camp a little bit. I think it was spread by some other people around him. But
I can confirm that what he's saying is.
Yeah, at this point though, I think he's happy with the way everything's going, and he is not hell bent on getting to the league. Like, he's down for the development. Like, that's so
he wants to win, and he wants to get better.
I think Zay will come back next year and take it upon himself to. He wants to be a 2-time champ, man. Like, I think that's something I've heard from his people too. So,
dude, Alina,
stay tuned.
Cam Boozer.
No, you're too Isaiah. I mean, come on now. And the kid, you're right, man. Like, he's as good a teammate on that team as anybody.
He absolutely is.
Look at the bench. All us bench watchers, because we're trying to see who's about to transfer.
Who's going to transfer?
No, nobody is.
Right.
And he is the guy, man. Like, even when he's not on the floor, there's not a better hype man on the bench. He's the guy, man.
Yeah,
he's the guy.
And Darren Harris next year and Matt Jones' role is gonna feed families. Like, there's gonna be a lot of things that happen with next year's team at that 2-guard position.
Yep. But I need year 2.
Hey, News and Observer just posted this on IG.
What is it?
News and Observer just posted this on IG. It's blurring. Hold on, let me unblur my background.
Hey, the growth that
look at Trimble.
Surrender Cobra, bro. He's a surrender Cobra.
Hey, the growth that
you muted there.
My bad. Who is his brother? JP Tokido? Is that his brother?
Yeah.
He's
got 2 half brothers, one on each side, Tokido and Mello Trimble.
Oh, dang, Mello Trimble. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah, fuck that family too. You know what? There are some bums too. There's another UNC bum on that 2015 team. Tokido, Joel James. I gotta look at that roster.
My team drafted my NBA team drafted JP Tokido. Cut him because he wasn't good enough to make a team that won 10 games.
Let's see.
Dog, not Tokido.
He got cut by the 10-win 76ers.
Damn, they had some bums.
I ain't gonna front because Duke recruited JP Tokido. Dog, I didn't realize Federico went to Texas Tech.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I thought he went to the league.
Nah, Cape lost everyone to the portal except for
he did. I thought
Hinson and Hinson and Carrington are the only ones that went to the league.
I like Texas Tech even more. Texas Tech was one of my dark horses before the season, Jack. You know that.
I do. I
had Texas Tech and McNeese State.
Hey, the growth that Isaiah has made from November to now on the defensive side of the ball.
That's why he's playing.
Is unbelievable.
Yep.
Like,
even if he's not hitting the shots, that's why he's playing.
I don't know who you give the flowers to as far as coaching wise. I don't know if it's Jay Lucas. I don't know if it's whoever.
Everybody.
Whoever like you can see just the commitment that he has on the defensive side of the ball. It's like,
I mean, the player development guys right now are Dildy and J-Rob. Those are the 2 guys who are responsible for player development.
J-Rob and Dildy give them their flowers.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And they have changed his whole outlook on And hey, and they're gonna make him a better like pro. Like they're gonna make him a
for sure.
like it's ridiculous, dude. Let me tell you what, man. In the first like before the halftime when he dove on the ball and knocked it back out and Khan got it or whatever.
That play, bro, that was crazy. That was nuts.
I'm telling you, man. I about ran through the fucking house.
That was nuts.
And he got up and he was super excited about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's like both of them, Khan and Isaiah. They looked at each other and they were like,
and that's why I'm so impressive that he wasn't making shots. Like you said, he's bought in on the defensive side now, even if he doesn't make shots. I mean, AC, you brought it up. It seemed like Malawach, if he don't get the ball early, sometimes he does check out. But Isaiah is just like right now the complete opposite.
Yep.
He's gonna play defense no matter.
I mean,
what.
that's honestly,
always locked in.
That's the thing that we lacked in that second half was like a play like that. Like we didn't have a play like that in the second half, and I think we were kind of looking. I think the guys were looking for that to happen, and it just like the opportunity never presented itself. Again, it was like when UNC came back in that game in Durham. That came back from 35 to 17. It was kind of the same thing. It was they found something that worked and they were able to exploit it over and over and over and over and over again. And it was the same thing tonight. They were just kind of able to exploit things, and we never had a chance to really make them run deeper into the clock and some of those other things. So, if you want to say this team has a weakness on defense without Cooper Flagg and Malik Brown, then it's it's teams that are gonna kind of shoot quicker into the clock. I guess that's the weakness, but good luck. Like I don't know who else in the nation can do what UNC does, in terms of pace. Like, then not that we're gonna face anyway. Like, there's certain teams that are gonna make it through the tournament, but maybe Florida. Like that's the only other team, but they're like UNC. They don't defend. So I ain't worried about those motherfuckers either.
Hey, but if we play in like if we match up with UNC, say just next Wednesday, like I'm like Duke's gonna beat that ass.
They will beat UNC 10 times out of 10.
Yeah,
they will beat this year's version of UNC 10 times out of 10.
15 times out of 10. Come on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't like
fuck them.
Yeah. You're right.
All that happened tonight was human emotion, especially. I mean, you look at the NBA, it's happening way more often too, with people coming down from 20. I mean, I think we just went into the locker room probably feeling really good. They went into the locker room saying, "Oh man, our season's about to be over," and their intensity, went up and ours, kind of went down. And it's hard for people to, without motivation, to be that energy guy, without that motivation being up 24 is, an easy way to just, let stuff slide. But I'm just glad we got the experience. Because you're probably going to get another situation where we're up like on the 8 seed, the 9 seed by 15, by 20. And, now we know that league can be gone in a flash. So, I mean, we know now we're able to finish. So the experience is going to be gold, I think, in the tournament. So,
I'm sure we've all played sports, and like when that momentum switches to one team, like you have to have a spectacular play to get that momentum back, and we really didn't get it in the second half. You know what I'm saying?
And it's hard. It's hard too, especially in the tournament, because there's not just Duke and UNC fans there. There's Duke, Clemson, Louisville, UNC fans,
and they were all
and in that moment they all become UNC fans.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not even a neutral site at that point. You're basically playing on UNC's floor, and now you got to deal with them coming back and everybody else being caught up. So I mean, it's a hard thing to grab that momentum back.
And I mean, you don't have your man on the floor, and I mean, it's the first time you've played without him for like a whole game. I mean, like they overcame a lot to get this W.
And you're right, Eddie. I think you're exactly right. I mean, the experience that they got tonight, it's going to carry, man, because and they're in an arena. You're right. It's not just North Carolina. It's not Duke. And most likely whoever Duke's playing, everybody's going to be cheering against them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so you get in this, okay, we're up big, and then they just keep chipping away. Now we got to find a way to win. And they did it, man. And they did it without the best player in college basketball. And they did it without the best defender in college basketball. And that just goes to show you how deep this team is, man. And they're good. And gosh, man, what great experience tonight. Great experience. Yeah.
And just to get Caleb and Pat developed this late in the season, man, people are saying that, if we make a deep enough run, then we'll get Malik. At this point, personally, I just don't want to bank on getting Malik back just because, we just don't really know.
I think he'll be back, by the way. I think he'll be back, but it'll be deeper in the tournament.
Exactly. I agree with this.
So to have Pat, Pat hoop, man, 12.6.
He wasn't supposed to play. He wasn't supposed to play this year.
This is a guy who was not playing basketball. A year ago, he was about a year removed from his last competitive basketball. Like,
dare I say, he might have been better as the role man than man tonight. He was.
He had himself a game, bro.
His only issue was defending an open space at the top of the key.
But look, at the end of the day, when we have Cooper, a lot of those buckets are not buckets for the other team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We were down our two best defenders, and one of those defenders is top 3 freshmen to ever play this sport. So
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be all right. I feel like you can sometimes take those lumps on defense with Pat if he's gonna give you 10 to 12 points. And one-on-one in the post, he's solid, man. He's a big body, he's high IQ, and he can pass. So
he played good defense tonight, too.
We can live with it. He did, man. He did.
Yeah.
He played good defense tonight, too.
He really did.
He also gave us actual post presence. He did post up a couple of times and score. Like I said, he did play well rolling too. So again, we talked about this a long time ago, but Malik going down the first time was a blessing in disguise because Pat got those minutes. Malik's gonna be Malik. He don't need time to get back in the rhythm. So now we do get Malik back. You got 15 fouls at that center position, which could be huge. So
that's gonna be instrumental.
That was the one thing I was worried about to start the season was we only had 10 fouls at the center position because I just didn't think, number one, I didn't think Pat was going to play. I thought he was going to redshirt. Number two, it was just that was one of the things with this team, and I didn't know how much John was going to rely on the post because post play was not something that we ever, this team was not. We weren't heading towards the direction of post play outside of what we were going to do at Combine, and I thought we'd do some more back to basket stuff or some repost stuff with him, but we just didn't, and it's all good. Like we found a way, man. We have found a way. John has he has contingencies all over the place with this team, man. It's nuts, bro.
We found a way to win tonight with our GOAT Jalen Withers.
Man, that's the best. That's so good.
Jay Witt, dog. Jay Witt, man.
Hey, where's the homie Lenzel? I gotta give him his flowers. He said Jay Witt was gonna make a difference in the Carolina game.
Right. Hey, he did make a difference too. Hey, let's go, man.
He was exactly right. Damn, bro.
No disrespect to Lenzel. I'm not gonna say I know you're watching, but if you are watching, no disrespect at all. It's all love, but you were not wrong. Jay Witt made a difference in a game this year.
Wow, man. Elite.
Derek, I am honing some of your powers for myself, it appears.
Brother, just troll. Enjoy it, man. Just enjoy the night, man. That's what we got to do,
that's the plan, man.
Hey, look.
Celebration.
I enjoyed the Elite 8 run last year, but, that team was getting punked and bullied every other night, stumbled into the tournament. Shout out to my guy, but there's no reason that Jarrett McCain should have been the toughest player on the team last year, he gave it his all. Jarrett gave it his all. I'm gonna give him that 100%. And he's a tough player.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't.
You're right.
He shouldn't be your alpha dog. He just shouldn't be your alpha dog.
He shouldn't.
You're exactly right, man. And I was yelling this all night long. You cannot bully this team.
No,
You
You
can't.
cannot. You can't, man. There's
So
too
many
guys.
dogs.
But
Many
enough, Jared
dogs.
McCain may be the alpha dog on the Sixers.
Well,
exactly.
Hey,
You know what?
hey now, hey now.
Maybe
Hey
Jared,
now.
Jared was
He's the only one left.
Yeah.
He's not. He's not even available.
I know he's still the only one left, Jack.
We have 4 healthy players, dude. We have multiple guys on
Healthy,
hardship
quote
10-day
unquote,
contracts.
players.
Well,
Healthy, quote
Jack.
unquote.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, Jack. After Monday, R.J. Davis and Jalen Withers and everybody else on that sorry ass team are available. So if y'all want like 15 extra bodies, you can put them on your team.
All right.
Hey,
All of this red is players who are out for the Sixers.
We can get some people from this chat right now and help the Sixers roster out right now.
After we win the tournament, we can just go help them in the playoffs.
Who would you rather play with if the Sixers are holding the open tryout? So we're going to go to the Sixers right now, or I know the LA Sparks are holding open tryouts for the main scout team.
I know who Pablo would say. I know who Pablo would say.
I'd rather play for them, bro.
I know who Pablo would say. I'm going to say that.
I'm posting Cameron Brink up right now, bro.
Hey, so
there you go.
And that's what I said. I know who Pablo would say.
Hey.
I'm gonna post her up, bro.
5 point after dark is crazy. That's wild. That's wild.
I like that 5 point after dark.
Hey, real life though. Who do you trust more, Cameron Brink or Jalen Withers in the clutch? Like,
Cameron Brink all day,
bro. If Carolina had Cameron Brink on the line, Carolina wins the game, man. Man.
I'd be mesmerized. If I'm on the court, I'd be like, "Hey, yo."
Hey, one of my boys runs runs social for her podcast. So
good for him. Good for him.
He also runs Podcast P, so there's that. But
I wouldn't claim Podcast P.
You take the wins with the losses.
Cameron Brink's podcast, though.
You take the wins with the losses.
Break from podcast.
Dog, I'm about to go to these. They put the trials. I'm about to go to these trials. I'm gonna fly out to LA for these trials right now. They're gonna fly me out. Y'all gonna fly me? I'm gonna be a fly out. Give me that. I'll be a fly out.
Just so you guys know how down bad the Sixers are, they got a hardship exception today because of all their injuries to sign someone to a 10-day contract. You guys remember O'Shea Brissett from Syracuse? Mm-hmm. They signed him, and he played 23 minutes.
Who's the active roster right now? I got to go find this.
I can give you Jeff Doughton Jr., Jeff Doughton Jr., Adem Bona, Jared Butler, Ricky Council, O'Shea Brissett, Gershon Yabusele, and then Alex Reese and Jalen Hood-Schifino on 2-way contracts.
Bro,
this is all 13 points per game in college roster. That's crazy.
The Sixers right now should make a trade for one of these O'Shea Brissetts for fucking Jahlil Okafor at this moment.
Dude, I have been saying online on my personal accounts because I'm a Sixers guy that the Sixers, like, at this point, what's the damage in bringing back Jahlil? Just get him
that'd
some
be a
reps.
great PR piece. We bring him back.
EB's the GM. EB only came back to the Sixers in the first place because Kay called him up after he had retired and said, "Hey, we need you. Like Jahlil needs you. You've been in Philly before. Help him out." He comes out of retirement to do that.
Dog, Jahlil Okafor,
you know what's
man.
Funny?
Y'all could use him right now.
Here's a domino effect. Elton Brand coming out of retirement to help be a mentor for Jahlil is the reason that Christian Wood was considered a really good player for a while because we cut him. Mm-hmm. It was a 10-72 season. We cut him, and Charlotte picked him up, and then the whole Christian Wood thing happened.
Yeah.
But he was not getting minutes for the 10-win 76ers.
They should stop LiAngelo from rapping and call him up.
Back too, man. At least at halftime, you got some entertainment.
Hey, man, we have really good halftime entertainment. I'll have you know.
Who you got? You don't have Red Panda.
We've had Red Panda. I'm trying Chris Cross performed not too long ago at halftime. That was fun.
If you don't have Red Panda, you ain't doing it right.
We've had Red Panda, but no, who was it? Chris Cross. Had a couple of really cool...
half Chris Cross is dead.
What?
It wasn't Chris Cross then.
Oh,
I don't remember.
Not alive.
It was some 90s, 80s, 90s group that started with a K.
It was just Chris.
That's terrible.
Terrible.
Oh my God.
That's
He
terrible.
said
Y'all had
some
Kid and Play
80s,
out
90
there.
group that start with a K.
They had
Yeah.
Kid and Play.
Now
It
I'm
was Kid and
tripping.
Play.
Man, I look. The only way I have a partial season ticket plan with the Sixers, and I love the team to death in concept. But since everything has happened and everyone that I care about has gotten injured, except for Quentin Grimes, who is sick right now, so he's also not active. The only way to get through the games is to have 1 to 2 tall boys in the first quarter.
That's cool.
So
That's
I don't
cool.
remember the halftime performance names all the time. Thank you.
Me and Cameron Brink gonna show up to Sixers game watching crisscross. I'm down with it, bro.
I will tell you, they do have a bunch of. They have like 5 to 7 halftime concerts a year, and they're
That's
always
cool.
really fun.
I'll show up for a game with Nipple too. We good.
Oh yeah.
No, Mr. Nipple. Damn, man. Hey, AC, you coming up to Philly for an Eagles game this year though?
I need to, Jack. I need to. It's about
You do.
time. I've been too scared. It's about time.
Scared? What the hell are you scared of? You're not wearing a Dallas jersey.
No, I know, but that place, I don't know, bro.
It's only like that if you're wearing a Dallas
Yeah.
jersey. I brought a friend to an Eagles-Giants game in a Giants jersey, and he didn't even get harmed. Verbally harmed.
Okay, all right. Physically, though.
No.
That guy, I think that guy should play the lotto. So
I know, right? I know, right? You don't just come out of Philly like normal.
Y'all are mean, man. Our reputation precedes us, but only if you're a Dallas Mets fan. AC is a Mets fan, but
I am a Mets fan.
Just don't tell anyone.
I'm not gonna run from it. I'm a Mets fan.
I hate that Eagles Mets fans exist. There's something incredibly wrong about that.
There's a small
liking a good football team is crazy.
You say liking a good football team is crazy?
Yeah, I can't relate, man.
You're a Giants fan, right?
Yeah, man.
I would if I could, I would travel to North Carolina and just give you a hug right now.
Brother, they're embarrassing, man.
Yeah, I'm a Dolphins fan. I thank God for Duke every day.
Yeah, man. This is why I need Duke to win a championship because
exactly.
I need Duke to win a title because I've never had two in the same year. I've never had
that either. I need that. I had the Birds.
Yeah.
Dude, I
adopted the Rangers in hockey just so I could have a winning team back in the 90s. And
after the Eagles won in 2018, I didn't expect to see any of my teams other than Duke win a championship until I was like a grown ass adult.
Well, I'm a Braves fan, so it was a lot of heartbreak with that. So
hey, I thank God for y'all every day, man. Y'all amazing.
Thank you, B. Hodge.
Who you talking about? The Eagles, the Braves?
I'm talking about y'all, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
talking about the 5 Point Play
drinking
podcast.
Fireball, haven't you?
Yeah.
B-Hodge gets sentimental when he drinks Fireball.
Yeah, I just took another one, man.
There we go.
Yeah.
B-Hodge gets sentimental when he drinks that Fireball.
I do, man. I get sentimental, man. Y'all amazing people, dude.
Hey, we love having you around, B. Hodge.
I know y'all do, man. I love y'all.
It is an amazing.
Y'all got some parting words for the people. I know we just made this thing public, but people at least be able to see it in retrospect.
You guys can watch the restream. If you've been here since AC put the link up on Twitter. It's just go Duke, man. I don't care.
Always.
We're winning the ACC title tomorrow. It looks like it's going to be Louisville.
It's going to be Louisville. I told you it's going to be Louisville.
I don't care. We already beat them.
Here we go.
Them when Coop was on the bench.
Everybody said they wanted Clemson. I was like, it's going to be Louisville. It's not Clemson. Clemson ain't it right now, bro.
Hey, especially when Dylan Harper broke his hand last night. I knew this morning. I was like,
oh wait.
However,
Louisville's got that dude with a crazy mask right now too.
However, I am not giving them any excuses because we don't get none either.
AC, if I may, we beat them in the non-Coop minutes when we played them last time. So
we're gonna beat their ass tomorrow too without Coop. They already announced
Cook them with or without.
Connor Isaiah, man, one of those.
Isaiah's gonna put up a 50-piece.
Patton Gong was gonna put up 50. Fuck him. I don't give a fuck.
Wait, I just got the craziest text. It's from my dog Brian, Duke blogger.
Brian Horace?
Yeah. So I said a win is a win. He said, no doubt. The Heels had a chance, but time wounds all heels.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's that was good.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie,
Y'all
you the man.
y'all got
Eddie.
some
You the
parting
man,
words for
Eddie.
the people.
I got
Derek,
you.
Say about you,
what you got there? What you got, D?
Man, I just want to say this right here, man. Go Duke, first of all. Shout out to the guys for a big win. Survive and advance. That's what it's about in March, man. If you can win, it doesn't matter how you get it, as long as you can, pull out a big win. For the tournament live. I just want to end by saying, fuck you, Hubert Davis. Fuck you, Bubba Cunningham, Sean May, Marcus Page, Jeff Lebo, RJ Davis, Elliot Cadeau, Seth Trimble, Trey Powell, Ian Jackson, Kay Tyson.
Let's go.
Fuck everybody on that team except for Deja Kelly and Jalen Withers, man.
Bro, Deja Kelly not even there. She transferred to Oregon.
Deja Kelly, I'm buying an Oregon jersey with your name on it. I'm supporting your NIL fund. Jalen Withers, you don't got to worry about nothing after you graduate, my boy. Duke fans will have you taken care of.
Bro,
you
we
can
never
get a
have to
job
buy
on
a
the
drink in Durham.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say fuck them. That's it. Now I'm done. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully we can run it back after we win the ACC championship tomorrow too.
Tomorrow night, 10:30.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, Duke.
Let's go.
Peace, y'all. Let's go, Duke. Go to South Carolina. Let's go.
Subscribe if you aren't subscribed.
Survive and advance. Subscribe. All that shit. Let's go, Duke.
Let's go.